Hello everyone, I'm Sun Yunfei and my metric number is A199461. And I'm honored to stand before you today to talk about an issue that quietly affects all of us, whether we realize it or not. That issue is the legal driving age, and I strongly believe it should be raised to make our roads safer for everyone. Let's start this speech by imagining this together. It's late at night. A teenage boy is driving along down a rain-slashed highway. His phone buzzes. He glances down for just a second. Tires screech. A crash. Darkness. These things may sound like a movie, but it's not fiction. It happens every day. And when it does, we have to ask, was that kid truly ready to drive? Today, I want to persuade you that the legal driving age should be raised to ensure road safety for kids, for families, and for every person who uses the road. I think it's important for you because most of us either driver, are learning to drive, or have loved ones who do. Whether you realize it or not, your safety depends on who is allowed to take the wheel. And why should you listen to me? Because I have spent time researching this topic, using government statistical, psychological studies, and traffic safety data. What I discovered is alarming, but also preventable. Let's explore this issue together. I will explain why T drivers are not yet ready, how we can address the issue, and what benefits we can expect by raising the legal driving age. First, let's understand why teens are not yet mentally prepared to drive. The human brain continues developing well into the early 20s, especially the parts that handle impulsion control, risk assessment, and decision making. A 2023 study by Patricia Callan and colleagues, published in the medical journal Injury Prevention, tracked teenagers who had shown signs of self-harming behavior. They found that these teenagers were significantly more likely to be involved in serious car crashes later in life. That shows us how long-lasting and dangerous immature behavior can be behind the wheel. To further visualize this, the study provided a Kaplan-Meier curve that showed a higher cumulative crash rate among teens who had engaged in self-harm compared to those who had not. Based on a 2023 report authored by the Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety and published on their official website, teens aged 16 to 19 are almost 3 times more likely to be involved in fatal crashes than drivers aged 20 and above. These findings clearly show that psychological and emotional immaturity directly impact driver safety. Clearly, many teens are simply not ready, not emotionally, not mentally, and not behaviorally. So, what can we do about it? We can take two powerful steps. Within the legal driving age and use smart assessment tools to determine readiness. According to the same road safety report I mentioned earlier, just raising the driving age by 1 year can reduce fatal crash rate by 13%. That's a huge difference, especially when we are talking about saving lives. And here is something even more exciting. A 2023 study by Warshi and colleagues, published in Pediatrics, a leading journal in young teen health, tested a tool called the Virtual Driving Assessment. It's a simulated driving situation and identifies high-risk behavior before a T ever hits the road. When those risky drivers were identified early and given support, their crash risk dropped by 11%. So we are not just talking about delays, we are talking about the smarter preparation. Now, let's talk about the benefits. Safe roads, fewer crashes, more responsible drivers. Isn't that what we all want? According to a 2023 report by the Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety, published on their official website and used by U.S. agencies like the Department of Transportation, states with strong T license laws shown significantly lower fatal crash rates among young drivers. This confirms that pollution charge can directly improve public safety. In closing, let me remind you of 3 key points. Key brains are still developing, and many are not ready to driver safety. With the driving age and using tools like the virtual driving assessment can reduce crashes and save lives. The long-term benefits will be felt by every driver, every family, and every community. So we need to support policies that raise the legal driving age. Speak up about smart tools like the virtual driving assessment. And most importantly, spread awareness because lives are at stake. Raising the driving age is not about restricted teeth. It's about giving them time and preparation. They need to become safe, confident drivers. That is all. Thank you.